3, 2, 1. What up, guys? Jamie Bourne Detailer Podcast 2023. We're at SEMA.
SEMA.
Who do we got here?
Dustin from
Where
OCD.
you from? OCD, good
San
friend
Diego.
of mine. Obviously, we got Shad. We're just going to chop it up. We want to see, so tell us your situation, why you're here right now, because it's not a normal situation, right?
Yeah, we actually I wasn't going to come this year. We were a little busy and stuff like that. I had a client, he said my car got into SEMA Fest. So he's like, I'll fly you out, come clean up my car so I don't have to try and not do it well. And so we bought our flight, and then we brought employees with us, and we're here for like literally 36 hours.
And what'd you do? I was supposed to be there?
You were supposed to be there. You called me and you said, I'm going to come and help film some stuff. All you could have said is, I hope to see you at SEMA, but then you bailed on your 7 a.m. appointment.
I'm a bellend.
So this man is getting paid to be at SEMA. That's when you know when you're doing things right. When you get paid to come down and network and learn and enjoy the fruits of SEMA. So what do you gain from coming to events like this?
You know, I think there is a point, like if you kind of nitpick it in the negative side, that like I'm not technically coming here to buy things or find the new revolutionary part of it, but it just, you get to learn from so many different people that, like Jamie has such a successful business that like we're not even scratching the surface compared to his sales and the job security of the contracts he has. Like, you know, if we're in the middle of a slow, we're like, hey, trying to call people, or like I'm gonna go down to the gas station and wash some windows for some people, and he's like, we're busy. So that's why we get to network and like learn from people that are doing it, as well as if we can share our story for other people that may be kind of following our footsteps. So it's cool to see the new hot tools, the new Roops polisher that's battery operated and everything. Like those are cool. But networking and honestly being able to talk about detailing like this, like our wives are done hearing about the car you cleaned over and over. So it's just fun to enjoy the labor and the industry we're in that we all love to be in.
Yeah, the products are great. A lot of companies wait and they'll announce, like Rupes, they waited to announce this till right before SEMA for a reason, but it's the people. It's the networking, the conversations that you have. I've had some just amazing off-camera conversations where I've learned things or had insights to where it was like, wow, I didn't even look at it that way. Or even just learning about products that it's like, oh, I'm using this product in this way, and I'm like, that's brilliant. So it's about the people and like the relationships that you make and the camaraderie and the business contacts that you are able to form during these events to really make it worthwhile. To me, it's a sense of professionalism. Like if you take this seriously, now I'm not saying you have to come every year, but if you take this industry and this profession seriously, you make an effort to come down as often as possible and do these type of events. So you're in San Diego. We talked a little bit a few weeks ago about the San Diego market. Give us your take on the San Diego market in general. Do you feel it's over competitive? How are you doing, man?
You know, we were just saying this before we started filming that like if you told someone what our sales were, how many coatings we've done this year and things like that, especially if you knew where we came from, people are like, wow, you're killing it. But I still feel that hunger point that like, so to answer your question, San Diego's amazing. We have the weather. You have the search volume, the people that love their cars, they want to keep them. It's almost like this status of your car and how clean it is and things, but you got to pay to play. And there's big shops in town that have way more corporate money than we do, and we're trying to like compete with them and wondering why we can't do what they do. Like we don't have the bank account, but it's our bank account compared to lots of investors kind of thing.
Right.
And then there's the people that are kind of like on our level that they are doing very amazing. Like, you know, you start getting close to 7 figures in sales or getting to that point that some people are like, how are you doing that? And that's kind of the middle of the row. And then there's the million people of where we started from. There's just like you in a van cleaning cars out there. So it's cool to see where we've come from, but San Diego is no joke that you have to come to, and you have to pay to play. And you have to have what's different about you, be knowledgeable and answer questions, because what makes you different than the other
One thing that you
detailers.
did though too that I feel like elevated you was another thing. You made a relationship with PPF guys.
Yeah.
And then you moved in with them. You guys created that, and that
It definitely did.
His team essentially now sells for you, vice versa. Now you sell for him.
Yeah.
So you doubled your company just off of that.
And the biggest thing that helped us is that it's like I didn't go down to get a film job this weekend or a film training. And if you're not doing that much films and you like don't use it, you lose it. That we didn't have to go do that and say, look how good this paint correction is. Look how good this polishing is. But like there's fingers all over, there's stretch marks and it looks terrible, or I just like gave up because I couldn't do it. So with teaming up with a very good film installer, we were at the ability that we could sell his work at the same top notch and elevate more and more, and it has brought more services in. And yes, there's some times that I could probably take a lot more money home if I did it, but how long until I get to his 15 years experience as a film installer and I start tomorrow? I'm not going to be that good. You'll get snapped off and you'll almost go down because your quality's
And
down.
I think a lot of people make this mistake is they don't perfect their current business before they try and do a whole nother venture. PPF's a detailing,
Do you have a detailed eye to do it? Probably.
Right, yeah, but PPF or film is in the detailing range, but it is different from detailing. It's different from cleaning the vehicle. So you people, I think a lot of people make the mistake of thinking they see that shiny object and they're like, oh, we need to do PPF. And they miss the boat on just creating a relationship with somebody that is proficient and does it well and feeding business back and forth.
Yeah.
Staying in your wheelhouse, perfecting that, but then using PPF as a way to gain more business without actually doing the PPF.
Exactly. And there's definitely times that you look at how much you paid out for this, that, and the other. But like, there's times like we literally have this Range Rover coming up. It's full body stealth PPF, full crystalline, powder coating wheels, calipers. Like, we're doing the whole 9 on this thing. And we're gonna do wheel coating, prep wash, interior coating, and take that chunk off there. And we didn't do much. Like a few hours of work, you take some off the top, but you look at, like, say you mess up a hood, all your profit's gone. And it's gonna happen a lot. So we don't pay that investment of messing things up. We don't sacrifice the detail quality to it. And so we just, and it's that point of being able to say yes to more people. Since the touch up with Jamie, we have PDR guys, we have bumper repair guys, we have interior repair guys, window tint, vinyl wrap, blackout package. Like we started, like, there's very minimal we can't say yes to.
So now you created
you don't have to
all
send
these
people around.
relationships, and now you turn into a one-stop shop. And I think that's what the industry's going to
Even
right
if
now.
you're not the person doing the one-stop shop, but you created it, and
your network.
Yeah.
So you did create it. You found the best people in your industry to team up with, just to create that. I don't know. My thing, I always wanted to create a recession-proof business. I started in 08, 09. When everybody wasn't starting, it was horrible. So I didn't say no to anything.
Yeah.
So I would say the main thing that you could do, or any of these guys, a lot of these guys freshly starting, they just want to create that network of people or hustlers. If you find another business guy like your dude, like, why do you want to go and chop his throw off and try to go compete with him? It's like, no, man, let's get it together, because you know that he is going to go after and kill it.
Yeah.
2 people killing it together is always going to be the best. Like,
well, and it's even that too, like, and no offense to him, but like, I never went into the position of that business with him thinking I'm going to make my nut because he sells so many coatings for me. And that's fine. If you have a month that you didn't sell any, but we sold 10 PPF jobs that we got coating jobs from, that's fine. Like, I'll market my own business, but you are a person that helps me fill that void, and we get more coatings now because we can do both, rather than say, go get your film from them and then please come back for the coating. Yeah. But like, they're a one-stop shop, so why would you come back?
Right.
So we tried to do that.
We're always going to have hard times. Things are going to get hard. They may get harder than they already are. I know people are feeling it, but find people that will go to war with you instead of against you. You want to go out and try and compete with people instead of creating relationships and creating these alliances that people will go to war with you and help to feed you business, as opposed to trying to compete with you. Yeah. Like, that's the whole thing about networking, and that's a brilliant business model, because yes, you can say yes to everything, but you don't have the risk and the overhead of having to do everything, but you still make something from it and have a relationship where they feed you business. So, like, why would you not want to do it any other way? I think that's a perfect way to do it.
And I think it's the way it gets us used to it. A lot of our mentors that we've had over the years, and kind of took us from being like just the straight technician, I want to work on every car, look how many cars I touched forever. It's not sustainable. Like, I don't want to be the 60-year-old that's still cleaning the same wheels and saying, like, thank you for the years of business, but like, I never did anything in the background to make it a business, not just a job. And so within that, like, having your subcontractor for films and this and that and the other is something that it helps us like start to get employees under us, because we're going to be more valuable of running the business, chasing the leads, customer experience in these things, more than running a polisher.
Yeah, and another thing too is that when you step away and you create specialists within your crew and in your group, that's the value. So build the value in your team, whether it's contractors or anything like that. It's going to be really hard for you. Everyone's going to go through hard times, but once you build that foundation, then you could step away, and then you can allow someone else to step
I mean, even if it's not like the full-time step away, like, I remember when I had jobs and like, I never saw the boss. Like, and then they're like, ooh, the boss is coming around, like, let's tidy up a little bit. Yeah. Not that it would be great to get to that point. I like being hands-on, being with customers and things, But being able to step away for a weekend with the kids instead of just like, I'm never around for holidays, my relationships went down the shitter and this, that, and the other. But you have to build this business and become the business owner rather than just always the technician. Otherwise, it's not sustainable.
And I think a lot of detailers get into it to get to that next thing, or if they think, oh, detailing is a stepping stone, not realizing that they can transition out of the day-to-day detailing by actually building a business. Now you're a businessman. Now you're out there, instead of doing the work on every car, you're out there facilitating these relationships and actually building a network and a business that you don't have to be hands-on in every single day, and you can scale. Like, detailers want to scale out. They want to scale the number of services they do instead of the employees that they have and the relationship that they have. But that's the long-term play that allows for the freedom that we all want, right?
Yep. And you create more job security for your guys too, that if you step away to run business, which then brings business in, but you always have work in front of you rather than the employee that's up and down. You're like, hey, I just don't have enough work today for both of us. If you're trying to keep more money and not, so to speak, you're not letting your business bleed a little bit for the investment, for the bigger picture, that, lately we've been like, I'm not going to touch as many cars, but I'm working on the business. Right. But it's also keeping your guys' hours, even if we're slow or we're fast, your guys' checks are generally the same because they're dealing with inflation too. So we've been trying to just like keep them paid, pay your bills, let's stick around through the thick and the thin, and let's capitalize on it.
Yeah, I think that's what you got to provide for your employees. If you want to run a good shop and you want to keep people around, they need to see value in what you're doing. So they need to see that back end. The way for them to see the back end part of it is being busy.
Yeah.
They're always going to be, what's up, boy?
And there's that part too. It's like, I didn't ever make that much detailing cars. But but you worked your way to have those higher tier jobs and details and things like that. And that it's not don't grimace when you have a $10,000 check in for payroll in 2 weeks, but that you've built it to be able to get to that point. And it's that whole, I get to more than I have to, and it's hard to do in an entrepreneur's head, but success in the little things that you are succeeding in is going to be huge for the long term of all of that.
Absolutely. And I think that we get too stuck in being detailers because we love it, because it's a passion, and don't focus enough. I say this all the time, don't focus enough on being a businessman. Even though you're a detailer, you can still be a businessman or an entrepreneur, and build a sustainable business that can deal with the ebbs and flows and continue to grow. You can come out of the hard times in a better place. Now, you may take a temporary dip, but that's going to happen. That's business. So, and I think that's one of the great things about coming to a place like this. It helps to help negate those dips because you learn things from people that have already done it, have already felt those growing pains, or have gone through recessions, and can help give you insight as to how to help negate them.
Yeah, and I think you're also in the same sense too, that you see that say this shop that's the one the unicorn that you're chasing after, they have made it, and you get to network people and you just see them on a pure level and a detailing sense of things. It's like, yeah, dude, we're still dealing with the struggles. We're going to clear payroll. We got to pay for all these bills and marketing and things. That it's almost the same scale. That our bills are up here and our income's here and here and yours is down here. It's the same stresses and things, and it gives you motivation. I've met people that you have a conversation and you're like, I'm kind of down in the dumps, and you get done with that conversation and you're like, dude, let's go, clean some cars, let's do business.
That's what we do, and when we call each other.
You revamp that fire under your butt, and it's something like these. And even in training, I know how to paint correct car, and you go to another training, you could learn that one little thing that changes your whole system and your insight to it, and it's just that light bulb. And even though you've been behind polishers for 15 years, and you have that light bulb, and you're like, dude,
right? Come on.
And you're like, and that's how we met last year.
Yeah, so, absolutely. And it's been a great relationship. I think this dude's killing it. We interact online, and but it started at SEMA. So another relationship, another valuable person in the industry that I can learn and grow with and from. But you said something. You said, dealing with the struggle. I think that guys get it in their head that the struggle is going to end, and it never does. If you're growing, you're always going to have struggles. It's going to be different levels of struggles. You go from having the struggle of getting customers to then having the struggle of dealing with payroll and having to put food in other people's mouths. So don't get it twisted. There is never not a struggle, but the struggle is worth it. And the bigger the struggle, the bigger that the payout's going to be. But you can help to negate that struggle, or help to have some guidance through that struggle by creating great relationships with other business owners. I mean, I'm sure you've learned some stuff on the business side of things from the PPF and the other businesses that you now network with.
Yeah, we're always ebbing and flowing. We're always learning, and that's the biggest part. And that's when you get stuck, is if you're not ready to learn, or if you think you know everything, and like, you get humbled real quick. That it creates for the bigger picture, and that it's like you said, that there's those times that, like, I wish I could just collect a paycheck that was a big fat paycheck, and you clock in, you clock out, you don't have any worry about payroll or bills or any of that stuff. But dude, I wouldn't change it for the world, and it's you get some gray hairs from it, but man, it's the best thing ever.
No, but the thing is too, is when you're struggling, it's because you're moving, right? People that don't struggle, it's like, you're not having anything hard,
comfortable.
You're not there's not no goals, you're not moving forward.
Yeah, you have to, and that's when you have to push the most. And like I thought about it when you were saying it earlier too, is like you have those ebbs and flows. And even though we kind of drive ourselves insane, there's that point that when you're slow and you're a little stressed, do all the things that you need to do and you haven't been able to when you're busy.
Bro, sorry, I got to share this. So I heard this quote the other day, and when you just said that, it made me click in. It's one of my favorite quotes I've ever heard. The magic that you are looking for is on the work you are avoiding.
Yeah, I saw that one.
That is that put it into perspective. Just when you just said that, I thought of that, because we avoid doing these things. We want these goals. We have these outcomes that we want, but we avoid doing the things that we know are going to get us there. So I mean, again, the magic you're looking for is in the work you are avoiding. Like that absolutely changed the game for me when I heard that.
Oh yeah, it's key. And I had a mentor too that, like, we have a million things to do, that we have this list. And it feels like you never get done with it. And if you actually take, to your point, and I need to be better about this too, but it's have 5 tasks, and you cannot go to task 2 until you've done task 1, even if all 5 relate to the next day. Once you get task 1 done, task 2, you add another one up, but you get that almost like those endorphins that I completed it today. I checked the box, and if you get 5 done in a day, you get 5 more up. But it almost makes for you're hyper-focused, but you get more done in a whole, rather than revolving on 20 tasks and they're stagnant because you're too spread out.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I never finished my list.
Dude,
I never. My list is like, if you have a list you're finishing, it's not big enough.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
and then I'll sit at home and be like, here's 10 more things, 10 more videos to film, so that when you have that alarm go off and you're like, quick video, like literally 11:30 every day, quick video, film it. And it's that point. It's like, add another 20 things to the list, because you could snap out 5 videos today or none tomorrow.
I love what you just said. I don't know if you guys caught that, but he said, I have a reminder that goes off that says, I need to do this. I need to make these videos. If we don't schedule things don't get done. If you say, I'll make a video when I have a chance, or I'll do this when I have a chance, it's never going to happen, because you're never going to have a chance. Especially if you're a business owner or a single operator, there's always going to be something else to do. But if you schedule it in, you will make it happen. Just like this podcast. We talked about doing this for so long. And finally, Jamie called me one day and said, dude, we're not kicking the can anymore. Wednesday at this time, be here, we're doing it. I put out my schedule, and guess what? We got it done, and we've done it every single... So I have reminders on my phone all day long to do things like that.
Video, we still are together, we still brainstorm, we still kicking, we're still...
Absolutely.
Well, and I had to go from the reminders to the physical alarms. That it's like ding, ding, ding. And so we had to do it, especially with marketing. So 8 a.m., Google My Business post. 10 a.m., call leads. 11:30, make a quick video. 3 p.m., Google My Business post.
I do the exact same thing, though.
And even if you snooze it, but you got it's going and going and going. Because the reminders, I just clear it and be done. Like, it used to work. Now I'm like, dude, do it. And you have to. It's like, go to the gym. And if you keep doing it.
I even have text my son, text him. I have
you have to.
It's all these little things that just are a big deal.
But you complete more when you have your 5 things to do and you check it off the list.
Yeah, and the key
have-to list.
The key
have-to list.
Yeah. The key is when those alarms go off, you do it right then. So if you have the opportunity to do something right now, but you can put it off, if you put it off, it won't get done. So those reminders, when they happen, you do them instantly. It's not, I got to finish this. It's literally, when I have an alarm like this go off, I stop everything and I do that task. And that's what that propels me forward, because then those things that I need to do, those things I'm avoiding to get the magic, I don't avoid them anymore. I just get them done in the moment, and then I feel good, and then I move on to the next thing. Like you said, I move that next thing on the list. So that was brilliant.
You feel better when you turn off the alarm and you do it in 30 seconds of, say, a Google My Business post, than the days that I'm a little busy now and I snooze, and it's a 4-hour alarm of snoozes, rather than just doing it And it gives you, it's
I
way
love the
more
snooze,
accomplishing. I do too. And I still
I love
do
the
it. I'm like, I'm
snooze,
going to clean this
I
wheel.
know, but it's not like for me.
But-
It's just keeping fresh in your head. Every time you press the snooze, it's a refresher.
Yeah. And that's where the
you're gonna
alarm came in.
That snooze comes on, you're getting that done.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's why I hit snooze I'm going to do it in 5 minutes, even if it's not then. Compared to the reminder, I could go to my reminder, it's 15, and I didn't do them that day. I'm like, oh, I kind of forgot to look at those.
It is. I absolutely agree, but it is a slippery slope because if you keep
Yeah,
that
it
snooze
is.
going, and at the end of the day, you didn't get that task done, it's going to weigh heavy on you. Instead of it being a way to amplify or something to boost you because you got it done, now it's going to be a reason for you to self-sabotage. Oh, I didn't get this done. I'm an idiot. You start the negative
If you're
self-talk.
doing it like that, then it's probably not.
Well, and it's so
Yeah,
many snoozes of say if I all 4 of those alarms and I kept hitting snooze all day to the point that I'm anxious and I turn them off. Then you were anxious all day and you didn't get it done.
Yep.
So literally, if I'm not like letting chemical dry or a customer being neglected, but like it's literally like blah 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 blah. Go my business. It's done. And it's done. And dude, and you when you have the achieving that list, even if it's minute, if it's the biggest goal you've set, you get it done.
Yep.
So what's the name of this episode today is Stop Pressing the Snooze Button.
Stop procrastinating.
Get to work, no procrastinating.
Network.
SEMA.
SEMA.
Build a community within.
Yeah, that's how I know. That's how I know
Yeah,
you.
community. Build
That's how
your
I know
community.
Shad.
Build a relationship with dope guys like this.
And guess what? Jamie, born detailer.
Dustin, OCD.
Shad, you already know.
Salt Lake City, out here. Peace.
Thanks for having me, boys.